As is tradition here, we scramble to get this demo done, which is a passionate work of a lot of our engineers who put their time over and beyond what their day job calls for. And it is their passion and it is their drive uh, to show all the cool, great features that we've built here that gives us the confidence to stand up here and show you the product. We have an exciting demo here. And what we would like to highlight this time is how this database with 7.0 covers some of the base of traditionally what some of the databases have always had. Historically, we have shown you great performance, scalability, flexibility. This time, we wanted to show you the full SQL transaction capability, as well as our other features of 7.0 like scopes and collections, which gives you that traditional view of what the relational databases have always provided. This will give you the comfort of sort of building applications when you are sort of modernizing from the old to the new. Now, to demonstrate this, we built a gaming application, which has also got real-time analytics capabilities, so you can see how the modernization will actually happen. And to give you a full immersive experience of this, we wanted to make this application a little interactive, so that way you don't tune out. Instead, we wanted you to lean in and participate with us in this demonstration. To give you further look into this application, let me welcome Mark Gamble, and who's our Director of Product Marketing, who will give you a better sense of what this application is and give you the entirety of the demo. So welcome, Mark.
Awesome. Hi, thanks, Ravi. And it's a great thrill, and I'm really excited to be on stage with you for the second time.
Mm-hmm. So what have you got in store for us?
Well, we've got Basebucks.app, Ravi. I'm excited to show this. It's not just a rich application. Mm-hmm. It's an application that can make you rich.
Aha, lovely. So I'm sure you will not gamble it all away. And so to give us a further view of what this application looks like, please give us a brief background of this app and what you're going to show us.
Sure. Let's roll into the demonstration. So we want everybody out there to log in. I know we've already got some folks that are logging in as we speak. Log into Basebucks.app on your browser. You can use your GitHub or your Google account, or create a brand new account with your email address. The app is secured with standards-based authentication. We're using OAuth 2. And just for logging in, you'll be instantly awarded 50 Basebucks. That's right, 50, 5-0, just for logging in. And you'll be prompted with a poll. What is your favorite programming language? And if you answer that poll, you'll get another 20 Basebucks. So once you log in, that'll put you into the Basebucks.app home, which we see here running in my live browser. So this is sort of the lobby, if you will, and you can see up in the corner, you'll have your Basebucks balance, but you can also go to the profile at any time to see your balance and your profile properties. And of course, Basebucks would be worthless if you couldn't spend them on something. So we also have the Basebucks.app store. So be sure and pay attention closely, because in this demonstration, you'll be able to actually win more Basebucks. So as people are logging in, I'll give you a little bit of background on the architecture. So here's the simplified architecture slide. And we have Couchbase server clusters running on Kubernetes nodes in AWS US West and AWS US East regions and zones. And we're using XDCR to make sure that we're replicating data between them. And of course, we have our Basebucks web application built on a Java backend, and the front end is built on Angular.js. So one of the things I want to do as we go through, obviously, is highlight some of the critical features that the app is leveraging from Couchbase and what it's built on. Of course, including transactions, scopes and collections, as you mentioned, as well as the usual Couchbase staples, KV, eventing, real-time analytics, and cloud and edge. So as we move along in the application demo journey, I'll go into these capabilities in greater detail. So these are
Love
the
it.
critical capabilities, yeah, for any modern application, also core to this gaming app.
Fantastic. So let the games begin.
All right. So what I'm going to do, folks, is unlock the very first question. And what we want folks to do is, before time runs out, answer which Couchbase SDK first introduced support for multi-document ACID transactions. I'm going to move over into our scoreboard. So choose your answer. And on the last second, I'm going to go ahead and choose the correct one, which is obviously the Java SDK. For those of you that didn't know, it's the Java SDK a few years back. And we're looking now at the scoreboard. So in this particular case, we're looking at the number of votes for correct answer by group. So everybody voted in a poll when you logged in. What's your favorite development language? That's how we're grouping you. And each box on the scoreboard is sized according to the number of users who voted for that language. So Ravi, it looks like Java developers are the vast majority of folks that are logged in today. So the group with the highest percent of correct answers to the poll is bold green. And we have a gradient from green to red for the next highest percent all the way to the lowest percent of correct answers. So it's a team effort here. And for fun, we're awarding Basebucks to the top groups, and we're deducting Basebucks from the bottom groups. So you can see here, yeah, I actually logged in with as Team Go, and it looks like I got another 10 Basebucks that I can spend however I like in the Basebuck app store.
Love it. And what can you redeem for those Basebucks, Mark?
Yeah, so in the store, we have an assortment of different gift cards. Definitely want to encourage folks to purchase one of the gift cards for our charities. We want to make sure. But of course, there's also AWS Education, Amazon gift cards, and the like.
Lovely. So congratulations to Team Java for 10 Basebucks. Each member in the team gets 10 Basebucks. Am I right? Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, it's Team Go. Thankfully I'm on Team Go, so I got 10 Basebucks here, which is kind of nice. The Java folks have actually they need to pay attention to the questions because it's an aggregate score. So because all of them didn't answer correctly, didn't get the highest percentage, the Team Java actually lost a couple of Basebucks off of their original balance.
Team Go it is.
That's right.
Not a Team Go. So Mark, then what did you have to do here specifically in order for you to sort of really give these Basebucks away? What did you have to do in terms of you're transacting here of some form?
Exactly, and that's it. What's seemingly straightforward is actually on the back end leveraging multi-document ACID transactions in Couchbase 7, which is a brand new feature, as you know. So as we all know, NoSQL databases have traditionally struggled with transactions due to their distributed document nature, especially transactions across multiple documents. So with Couchbase, multi-document transactions can be executed in a SQL query, opening up doors for Couchbase applications with functionality formerly relegated to relational systems. And here we see a code snippet directly from our application, for example, using our Java SDK. It's a parameterized query in Java that will generate the nickel query that we send to the database. So easy peasy and really elegant. And with this latest capability, we really now add trusted transactionality to the core strengths of Couchbase.
Cool. I mean, that's really fantastic to see. I mean, what you really demonstrated here is the ability to interleave transactions along with the other high performance operations that is actually going on in the system when people actually are looking at their profiles or doing the other actions on the application. Yet at the same time, when people voted in the middle of it, you actually created a transaction of a multi-document with all those people in Team Go and Team Java and other places, and you updated those set of documents so that it's all or nothing semantics. This is the classic debit credit poster child for any transaction that you actually showcased here to say that we can actually do that in one system without you having to go to a relational thing to do this and then use another system for your other high scale operations. So that's fantastic to see how you can, without paying the price, for all operations, you're paying the price of a transaction only when you need it, versus all the rest of the system is scaling and performing to a different tune, so to say. So you're in one sense not slowing the rest of the system down just because you are doing something like a transaction, which is what was happening in traditional relational systems, and which is what made us all move away. We saw how in the 90s where we were and where we are now. So this is fantastic for us to show that, you know, we have sort of come full circle and you can build those kinds of sophisticated enterprise applications. So thank you for that. But let's move to the next question then.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock our next question. And that is, Couchbase Scopes and Collections are like which RDBMS features? So once again, let's move over to our scoreboard, which we can see update in real time. Is it rows and columns, views and stored procs, schemas and tables, all of the above? And at the last minute, I'll go ahead and choose the correct answer here. And we see the summary here settle into place in our scoreboard. So clearly here we can now see that, oh, it looks like Team Java is listening.
I'd love to see that. Well, this time, truly, congratulations, Team Java, on you winning this this round of the challenge out here for us. So with Couchbase 7.0, I think there is this support for scopes and collections. Tell me a bit more about it. You've been developing these apps in the classic relational paradigm and how that sort of helped you sort of achieve what you just showed us here.
Absolutely. And let's jump over and take a look. Scopes and collections, as you have eloquently put in a recent blog and in your talk, really represents relational style data organization within Couchbase. And that enables easy migration from legacy systems. So in this aspect, customers can really quickly modernize while retaining trusted relational functionality. And because app developers can organize data in a manner that's as familiar as building a relational database application, they're working in familiar territory, but on a modern database. So while leveraging a flexible JSON schema at the same time. So the feature also makes it easy to isolate data with precision. And this ensures secure data access in multi-tenant applications. So you don't have to create separate environments for multi-tenancy anymore. You can control it all from a single Couchbase instance. And this helps meet data privacy and sovereignty requirements as well.
No, fantastic. And in one sense, what you're pointing out is the fact that, look, though this looks like a traditional data organization of a relational system, what is really happening here is that we are playing with a NoSQL system, which is no schema in one sense. So because of the schema flexibility that we offer as part of the system, what this really translates to is the fact that you are actually, if you're introducing new schema elements like a table, yet your transactions have to work, yet the rest of your system the application has to work without taking downtimes for maintenance and schema upgrade and stuff like that. That's what this one really achieves. And that you will get to after you have called a committee to actually go create these tables and new columns in the good old days. And so that's what was completely sort of limiting the developers or making them less agile, which we have really removed. But yet we have given the same constructs for people to feel familiar so that you can now actually compartmentalize or subnet the data the way you are traditionally used to and bring the same order and organization to your application. Fantastic. This is very lovely to see how seamlessly this whole thing you brought about to show how simply you can build an application of this nature. Now, we have more games to play here.
Yeah, just to sort of close out on our scopes and collections, we're also using it for schema isolation for better query performance. So this is due to smaller indexes at the collection level. So definitely wanted to make these points. And of course, the multi-tenancy access control points that we made. And then application density through microservices consolidation. Collections provide a highly scalable option to deploy microservices with loose coupling. So yeah, really,
I think you brought out a very important point over there about how the performance, in addition to sort of security and application density, how performance of the system can substantially improve because you have now reduced, in one sense, the footprint of where indexes need to be sort of created, and you can now scale the system in a more agile manner as well, along with the rest of the benefits that you just pointed out. Fantastic. What do we have next for us, for our viewers?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into our next question. So what development projects do you developers enjoy working on most? And obviously there's no score here, but I'll still move over to our scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm analytics and BI buff. I'll choose analytics. And this time the scoreboard looks a little bit different. Yeah. So this is an aspect of called a tree map data visualization. So each development language now is subdivided by the type of projects those developers enjoy most. So we're enriching the profile, but we're also able to accommodate visualization through this instantly. So we added another attribute to the profile and are able to get that insight instantly. Language subdivided by projects. And it's not only in our scoreboard, but we can also see it here in my profile. So I've now added a favorite project type, for example. So in this case, yeah, the visualization has dramatically actually changed from being, green and to red, which was indicative of kind of score, now reflecting the attributes, the DNA, if you will, of all of our developers that are playing right now, the 425 of them that are playing.
Lovely. And it's a large squares telling you which is ahead of the others, and the sub-squares within that telling you which subcategory among the developers, among their languages, what type of applications that they typically develop. That gives you the next order of the quality of the information that you're seeing here, more than just the quantity of the information that you're seeing. I think that's the beauty of this sort of a tree map view that you have built here. This is fantastic sort of analytics view while a transaction is happening sort of concurrently in the system, right? And this is not just a case of something happening isolated and data moving to an analytic system and then something being sort of done there and pushed back and stuff. You're sort of building these sort of analytics dashboard, well, let's say near real time. The moment the data gets into Couchbase, you're able to sort of present this view in terms of what's really happening in the system. What did our participants actually do here to give you which of them, Java in this case, and what type of an application that they're most developing most. So congratulations to the team for more Couchbase bucks, which you can transact for real bucks later on. But give me a sense of what's happening behind the scenes here with analytics. And you're a veteran in this whole area. So your own personal journey, I think, would add more color to people who are seeing this than just showing what the product can do.
Sure. Yeah. And actually, I'm excited to even talk about it because Couchbase Analytics is what we leveraged to enable this functionality. You saw the scoreboard updating in real time. Not only that, but being able to accommodate different data and automatically adjust. And again, as people were voting, that thing was snapping into place and reflecting that information. So as you said, I'm a veteran of analytics and BI and reporting. Real-time data visualization is the holy grail of analysis. And in the past, it would take a huge effort to achieve real-time analysis like this. And because we had to move data out of operational systems into a columnar analytics DB database where it was decoupled from operational data. And thus, it was really complicated, if possible at all, to keep it in sync. So for Basebucks, the application, we leveraged the analytics service built right into Couchbase. No ETL required. And we used eventing, which listens to the DCP and makes updates even faster. So pushing data changes into the analytics service immediately as they occur. So leveraging Couchbase Analytics, we were able to achieve this near real-time analysis in Basebucks without having to bother with a separate environment. In fact, the development team didn't even have to worry about it. It's just there. So no impact to operational workload, no data movement, and we get the benefit of that near real-time visualization.
Fantastic. Live transactions and live analytics all on the same system, so to say. Each scaling and each operating independent of each other and not clobbering one on top of the other. This was the reason why we actually used to have a separate analytics and OLAP systems versus another OLTP system, because if you run that query, the front end workloads will basically suffer, was the hypothesis. And with the sort of the MDS and our way of isolating workloads, we are able to offer both those capabilities in the same system. And like you pointed out, we segregate them by streaming the data, so we can rearrange and do MPP type of queries on the analytics side, versus on the operational side, you can really sort of pinpoint those queries for low cardinality results back, which needs to be zippier and faster than the analytical query. But yet you are achieving near real-time results here. Stuff that used to take us months in the past has now, more recently, have become hours and days even, to now what you can achieve in seconds and milliseconds. So this is fantastic. Now, moving on, are there more ways to make people rich with Basebucks?
Yeah, let's continue. Let's get into our next question. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the next question in the application. And this is our final question. So folks, pay attention and answer the following. How does Couchbase support mobile and edge computing? And we'll jump over into our voting. And once again, as people are voting, that visualization automatically adjusts. Now we're back to score-based voting, obviously. So again, green to red, meaning high winnings down to folks that unfortunately are losing some Basebucks. But in this particular case, we can see how the scores are going. And of course, to double back on that question, Couchbase supports mobile and edge computing better than any other database on the planet through Couchbase Lite and Sync Gateway.
Love it. How does that happen? As in, like, we have Couchbase is built for performance and scale and planet level distribution of data on the one hand, and now we're suddenly talking about mobile edge, which are like smaller footprints. Give us a sort of both a view of how the architecture looks, as well as what benefits you get out of it.
Sure. I'll start with the edge part of the equation, if you will. So when you're just relying on the cloud to power your applications, you're then subject to some of the unreliability of the internet. So this can introduce latency. But if you process data at the edge instead and reduce latency by orders of magnitude when you do so. So as you see here, what we've done is we've put an edge data center into AWS local zones, which is their one of their edge services that they've brought to market recently. So what we're doing there is then leveraging that built-in replication from the cloud directly to the edge, and any game players within the Los Angeles area near that AWS local zone in LAX, that's the region, they're going to see a dramatic decrease in latency. And this has implications way beyond just gaming, of course, but we see orders of magnitude decrease in latency by up to 80% just by processing data at the edge instead of at the cloud.
Love it, love it. This sounds pretty bold statement in terms of what you're saying this can bring about. Do you have any data to back it up?
I'm glad you asked. So let's pop up our latency meters here. So here we can see the difference in stark contrast. Our broader application is running in the cloud in standard availability zones. But in the LA area, again, we're taking advantage of local zones, which we see here on the right. And that's that new edge computing service from AWS. And the meters here are measuring the latency for set and get requests from the client to the data center and back. So in the LA area, as we see here again on the right, we cut down users' gameplay latency again by orders of magnitude. The cloud computing latency meter shows on average double to triple digit millisecond latency. Whereas on the edge computing latency meter, this shows low double to single digit milliseconds latency. And our tests consistently show that latency is reduced by up to 80% by moving data processing nearer to where the clients will use it. And this equates to 3 to 5 times more operations per second. Or if you want to look at it in business terminology, it's 3 to 5 times more business conducted that you can do at the edge.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you just you have done this analysis, and it's visible for people to see. And I also know that you guys actually wanted to, are in the process of developing also a mobile application for this very demo. So when we actually put out the code for this demo, we will have the mobile applications sample code as well for you to see how this whole thing can be built with the the edge paradigm, and how it can save costs and make the applications even more responsive. How about you look at the scoreboard one final time since we moved over to this side and where things look, and the winner of this
Sure.
last round of Couchbucks given away.
Sure. And just to really briefly close out on that last point that you made, we wanted to, the next version of this application will reflect Couchbase Lite. And that can be embedded directly to the application and insulate these devices that happen to be at the edge from any kind of outage. And so in this particular case, when you run the database on the device, you never have to worry about downtime, and you have sub-millisecond responsiveness. So that's the penultimate, if you will. But you asked about seeing the scoreboard one final time. So let's go over and take a look at the scoreboard. And here is the results again for that last question. And it yeah. And it looks like our Java community again. But yes, I'm enjoying the fact that I got 80 or 90 Basebucks from and thanks Team Go for helping me out there.
Fantastic. Spend those bucks wisely, Mr. Gamble.
There you go. Exactly. I think I'm going to give it to the Nature Conservancy here.
Love it. Love it. Love your benevolence and your giving spirit. Thank you so much, Mark, for putting this demo and giving us a full walkthrough of all those critical capabilities that we, built, so that we can have applications of this type where transactions, interactions, mobile, instantaneously replicated database all can be put together with stuff like search and eventing playing a critical role in ensuring that the data is actually moving and looked at in different ways, all in one application. This is exactly what, like you pointed out earlier, the modern applications are looking for us to sort of take it to the next level. What we have done here is to build a database which reduces the developer friction from object relational impedance mismatches to non-duplication of data. So data is sitting in one place, you can just write logic, to a case when this database is built, as we say, for failures, whether a rack, a switch, availability zone, or even your cell tower fails, that data is available to you for your applications to be always on. So this is the modern application which needs to allow you to build with agility and deploy it across cloud and to the edge, and be able to manage this simply so that the developers can go develop the modern applications without all those distractions. So that's, in a nutshell, what we have achieved. We have taken a monumental step this year when we brought out Couchbase 7.0 platform, which solves this problem in a very creative and a very imaginative one. But for the very first time, you have a single database that can do the transactions and the high-scale interactions all in the same place. And we have Couchbase Capella, which takes away all the management, administration, and operational headaches out of your hands, and experts in Couchbase will handle that. Together with these two, we have eliminated a lot of the distractions, so you can go build your applications for the next generation. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And there are a lot of other exciting sessions that are also coming your way, all the way from transactions, which is basically the nickel transactions session that Kamini is doing, or the data modeling for Couchbase Server 7.0 sessions that Clarence is doing, or most importantly, don't miss that Emirates session, a leap in digital paperless journey of aircraft maintenance. That will be a fantastic session to see how truly modernization is happening in different industries. And finally, don't forget to cash in those Basebucks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, it's fine.